Hello everyone, I am Saurabh working as solution architect with Ashnik. Today I am going to present Vault demo on top 5 secrets engines and their use cases. Start the demo. I have a HA Vault cluster, enterprise cluster running with integrated RAF storage backend and auto unseal using AWS KMS. Now I have used Terraform to automate the entire server provisioning, installation and configuration of Vault cluster in AWS infrastructure. You may also use Ansible or shell scripts or any form of automation. The point to make here is that automation to install and deploy Vault cluster has been done many a times, so don't worry, you will find enough resources in HashiCorp site or internet and use the right one according to your infrastructure landscape. So we have a super privilege root token over here, and let's log into Vault Web UI and check what are the default configurations available. So under the auth methods, the default token authentication method is available. Also, you can enable various other auth methods using the web user interface. Some might be suited for your users and some might be ideal for machine-based authentication. Coming to secrets, there is a default cubbyhole secret engine, as well as you can enable various secrets engine using the web user interface. Now again, the configuration of various auth methods and secrets engine in Vault can be done either via web UI, CLI or HTTP API using curl, etc. For this demo, I am going to use Terraform to configure various Vault resources like auth methods, ACL, policies, secret engine, namespaces, audit, etc. The point to make here is that repeatable, version controlled infrastructure as code is an ideal way to manage configuration changes to Vault cluster. So now once we have deployed the resources using Terraform automation, let's check in Vault again. Now once I go to the authentication methods, now you see there are various other authentication method that has been already configured as part of the Terraform automation. Similarly with secret engines, we have a long list of secret engines, each having a different purpose. So for the purpose of our demo, we will today focus on 5 top secret engines. Let's start with our first secret engine. Key value secret engine is used to store dynamic static secrets, arbitrary secrets. So let's check into a configuration. So this is one secret key, and as I mentioned, this is a key value and the version type is 2. So basically it means that version control has been enabled. So coming to this secret, you can see that you can have arbitrary kinds of secret data, username, password, tokens, etc. in a key value pair of manner. Now let's use the CLI to create one more secret key for us. So let's use the Vault KV to put a new secret key, which is a prod DB credentials, and these are our key and value which we want to put inside this secret key. And this is how we extract the data using the CLI command line. Now let us use the curl API endpoints, basically the Vault API endpoints, to overwrite the same secrets, and we want to see whether the versions are managed. So here you see that the version is 2 now. So let's query it and you will see the latest value, which is the new password that we have set over here. The latest value is now getting reflected. And now if you want to see the old or any other versions, previous versions, you can append with the argument parameters with version 1. So now you see this is the version 1 of that same. So from the web user interface also you see the same thing, and over here you can see now there are 2 versions. You have the provision to delete a version, which will be a soft delete, and the metadata will reflect the latest deletion date, whereas you can also permanently destroy the version. Now you can see under the history tab you can see 2 of your history versions, and you can delete the entire secret or create a new version from your existing latest version. Now let us create one more secret engine from scratch. We are using the Open LDAP secret engine. So I have a LDAP server ready with me. Let me log into this. Now we will use Vault to dynamically generate. Let's refresh the list. Yeah, so we have a couple of users and groups and some users tagged under the groups. So now the purpose of our demo is to create an OpenLDAP secrets engine through the command line interface, and we will create runtime, generate some identity credentials in OpenLDAP. So let's first enable the OpenLDAP secrets engine at path OpenLDAP, and let's set the configuration parameters so that the Vault server is able to access the OpenLDAP endpoint. Let's read the configurations first. So here we are mentioning the URL of the LDAP server and how to bind DN, and also we have provided the user DN or the user with which we are going to access, and the password, bind password. Now let's create a role based on the LDAP data interchange format. Let me show you the configuration shortly. So let's read this role what we have created under this OpenLDAP connection. So whenever we want to generate a new runtime dynamic credentials on an OpenLDAP server, it will create a new OpenLDAP user identity with a new user, and there will be a TTL of 1 hour. So the the credential will be valid for 1 hour, and with a max TTL of 24 hours, before which it can be renewed, and it can be revoked also as well. So let us try to generate the dynamic secret, right? So once I generate the dynamic secret, Vault creates a user and the corresponding password. So you can use this to log into any of your service account on any services, might be a database service, etc. So now let's check in the OpenLDAP side. Let's refresh this list, and you see that Vault has created a dynamic user for us. Now in scenarios where you want to revoke a token if it has been compromised, so if you want to revoke this identity, let us do that. And now let's go back to our admin console and see whether the Vault has deleted that user. So yeah, the Vault has directly deleted that user from the OpenLDAP. So you can create dynamic runtime credentials, OpenLDAP credentials, or you can rotate the password of your static credentials. Now let's go to one more secret engine, which is the AWS secret engine, by which we can generate various AWS credentials, IAM user, etc. So this is the path the engine has been mounted, and the default lease, and this is the maximum lease. You can keep a short-lived duration for your TTL. So this is the role, and now let's generate a IAM user. So prior to that, this is our IAM user console in AWS. So currently we don't have any Vault managed user. Now Vault will generate a user dynamically. So let's check first in the console that we have a IAM user already been created, and now let's use this to just query some of the AWS CLI command and to see that the credentials have been created successfully by Vault. So here I put the access key ID and the secret. Let's put our AWS default region as US East 2. Now let's fire one of our AWS CLI command to list the EC2 instances running in this region. So now you can see that all this details has been thrown from the AWS CLI command, and similarly let's revoke this and see the result. Now let's go back to the AWS console and let's see if the IAM user has been deleted by Vault. Yeah, now the IAM user has been deleted by Vault. So you can see the ease of user creation, self-service, and also short-lived IAM access tokens, means IAM users and access tokens, so where you can restrict the time it is visible, and also short-lived, you use it and you destroy it once it is done. Now let's check one more secret engine, which is a database secret engine, dynamic database secret engine, and for that let's use a Postgres. Now I have a database Postgres where we have a Postgres user and a table called customers, and let's give some self-service to the user so that users can generate their credentials on demand, log into the server, and then do their work. And we can generate very short-lived token also depending upon the use case. Let's generate the credential and log in with this user and see that Vault is able to create this dynamic user on demand. So this is the user that has been generated by Vault. Let's log in with this user and the password. Yeah, Vault has created this user for us. So let's check, yeah, in the customers table, and when you check the PG user table, you see that 2 users has been created and there is a validity expiry, or the TTL time, after which the user will be removed. Now the last secret engine we will for today is the transit secret engine. This is basically encryption as a service. You can use it as encryption as a service. This is mounted at a path currently at transit. You can use, let's say you have a web app and you want to do some kind of encryption and decryption, so all this workload can be delegated to Vault. So for example, we want to encrypt some text coming from a web application, so you can use the web UI, CLI, as well as the HTTP API endpoints depending upon the use case. So let's say hello world and encrypt. So Vault will return you the ciphertext that you can save in your application database. And when you go to the decrypt tab from the UI, just I am showcasing from the UI, and now you get the plain text. Now this plain text is base 64 encoded, so you can decode it. So let me do that. So this is the plain text, base 64 decode. So now you get the actual original text. So the reason being, not only text can be not only just text can be encrypted, it can be a file, maybe PDF, image, that can also be encrypted. Apart from that, there is a concept of key rotation, where you can rotate the encryption key. So coming to the details, you can edit the encryption key and versions. Currently there is only one version, so you can rotate the encryption key. So whenever, after a regular interval of 3 months or 6 months, you can keep rotate your encryption key, or in case of a compromise of some encryption key, you can rotate the key. And this is basically a key chain, so all the old versions of the key will still be managed. So you can use the existing data which has already been encrypted by version 1 to use for decryption purpose. At the same time, there is also option to rewrap the data, so it will use the recent version of your key and re-encrypt the data and return you the ciphertext for you to save in the database. So there are many more other secrets engine that we can cover at some other point of time. Yeah, that's from my side on the demo.